Bonnie. Happy Saturday. We are back. We are doing an interesting video this evening. I am so excited because we're finally going to talk in depth about BonLeo. BonLeo. So if many of you know, I have had a YouTube channel now since 2017. And then I kind of started over in 2019. I wasn't sure what I was doing. And I know a lot of you have been with me since the beginning. So many of my my followers have been with me since like I had 100 followers, like literally. And it's so exciting to see how my channel's grown. And over the years, a lot of people have asked me if I would do like a bird shop, if I would do Queen of the Girl Geeks t-shirts and like tote bags and stuff like that. And it's actually harder than it looks to actually start a t-shirt company. So the first thing I did is I started on a site called Bonfire, and it's because of Lenny. Because back in June, Lenny's going to show the book.
I had published the book, A Face from Uranus, correspondence between Ted Burr and Henry Bellum in 1943 to 1945. And I was thinking of ways of how to get people interested in the book. And of course, it's Ted's face from the very beginning that I kept thinking is so iconic.
Yes.
And one day I said to Bonnie, I think I could see Ted's face on a t-shirt. And I can't believe I said it. Because I'm like, why would I just... Why?
How am I going to do this?
but I was like, I see his face on a t-shirt. I said, I think it would be really cool. And she says she's been interested in t-shirt producing.
Yes.
And I said, well, I'm sort of seeing like where Ted's face is kind of maybe in a rainbow of colors, like a rainbow flag.
Yeah, it was just around June for Pride Month. Yeah, so that's what you're kind of thinking.
And then we discussed it together, and she goes, well, I'm seeing something kind of Andy Warhol-ish. And all of a sudden, this is what kind of came up, like that series where Andy Warhol did Marilyn Monroe and Elizabeth Taylor.
Yeah, it's very classy.
And we go, oh, Ted has that kind of face.
He does.
That in repetition, it really kind of like speaks of all the facets of him. And then we added those little bars of color.
Yeah.
Then Bonnie continued to evolve, and all of a sudden our design, she started putting the planetary to evoke Uranus in everything, and our collaboration just began in our ads and our t-shirts, and that started to percolate your idea.
Exactly. So what happened was, as many of you know, there's a lot of sites out there where you can do t-shirts. There's Threadless, there's Spreadshirt, there's Bonfire. So many of you actually bought my t-shirts on Bonfire this summer, and I did a few. I did like Happy Monday, and like I wasn't super in love with my designs because I am a actual like media marketing person that does a little bit of dabbling in commercial graphic art. Like I can do designs corporate, I can do educational, but I'm not necessarily like a creative graphic artist. So I was really struggling with what to do because I wanted it to be original. I just didn't want to copy what's out there. I wanted something that was really fun. So over the summer, Lenny and I both tried kind of Bonfire, and I didn't like the way the interface worked. I didn't like the back end of it. So then, as many of you know, I tried selling some stuff on Etsy. That didn't work. It was too complicated to have the Etsy products and the t-shirts, and it was confusing. So probably around September 30th, right when Lenny was filming In the Name of Jamie Wakefield, I started thinking in my head, I want to start an actual t-shirt merch shop that's like vibrant and has potential to grow into this larger vision. And I knew I didn't want to call it Queen of the Girl Geeks because that's a really long name. It's hard to, I didn't want to do Queen of the Girl Geeks. I already have the blog. So I knew I wanted to get Lenny involved. Like that was like my number one like request. It was I wanted Lenny. He was right in the middle of filming and he was here and I'm like, how do you feel about starting a t-shirt company? And what did you say?
I'd be interested, but it has to happen after I'm done filming
I know.
the series.
And it's funny because Lenny and I are so different in how we think. I am very scattered. I multitask. I'm doing 5,000 things at the same time.
And I am focused.
Yes.
What I am working on, I've got to work on. I can't be distracted.
And we're so funny because we do. Like, I'll be like working on something and I'll change subjects and you'll be like,
we're talking about this.
Focus. So our styles actually do complement each other in an odd way. So what I did is I built the back end, and I actually said to you, I'm like, we got to name this. I'm like,
so I did concede to that.
Yes, you did.
She goes, I won't bother you at all while you're filming, but I just need us to talk about a name. If we have a name, I'm fine. I go, okay, we'll discuss the name.
Yeah. So what I was going to do, BonLeo. I was trying to think of the combinations of our names. And you came up with BonLeo.
Yeah, well, and it didn't come out of nowhere.
Yes.
It's just that when I moved back to Pennsylvania, everyone already knew me as Lenny. So it was just easier to slide into Lenny. But when I was in California, I had been Lenny, but I also, a portion of the time, went by my formal name, Leonard.
Yes.
I've always liked Leonardo, which of Italian descent, which is what I'm from. And then I was in a dance community, and we went to Argentina to do it, to work.
That's so cool.
We went as part of a bigger dance community,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone called me Leo in Argentina. And I had also remembered years ago, I had worked in a restaurant, in a Mexican restaurant with Dominican cooks, and they would call me Leo.
That's really interesting.
And I used to say, I really like being called Leo because I never really wanted to be Leo.
Yeah.
But Leo just sounded really cool. And so when I got back to the States, a dancer friend said, I think Leo really fits you. And I said, you know what? I think it fits me too, especially when I'm dancing. There's like a lot of flair.
Yeah.
So when Bonnie mentioned it, I thought Len or Lenny is not the part of me that feels like the flair part. But I said, you know what? Immediately I said, Bonnie, it's Leo. Because that's the part of me that I know is about new things, new vibrant things. So immediately I said, BonLeo. And she went, oh.
I know. And of course, the SEO marketer in me. So when you're naming a website, if anyone's interested in, starting a website, shorter is better because even my Queen of the Girl Geeks, it's very hard to spell out Queen of the Girl Geeks. And everyone's like, a lot of people get my name wrong. They're, are you Queen Geek? Are you Queen Girl? Girl Queen? So I knew instantly BonLeo, and of course it was available. I was very impressed that I got the domain. That was like my woohoo moment. So I immediately got the domain name, and I'm like, okay, let's just park it and we'll talk about it. Meanwhile, I didn't tell Lenny what I was doing.
I stayed in the background of this while she was doing the background.
So I built the entire back end of this, and we do run it on Shopify, which is a great place if you're ever looking to run a business. Shopify is good. I really like the back end of Shopify. It was finally where I needed to be. I was so happy once I set up the shop, and then we got a new theme, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I got one of the free themes. So the free themes are nice, but they don't give you the artistic flair. So we ended up switching to a paid thing, which I really love a lot better. So once I had all of this in place, I said to Lenny, okay, we need a couple of designs. We got to work on this. So the last time Lenny was here at Halloween
was when we finished editing.
Yes.
In the name of Jamie Wakefield. Series pilot.
Yes.
We put it up on Friday evening, October 27th.
Yes.
And the next day, when there's that sense of, wow, the baby is out of me.
We can't believe we did it.
And it's like,
no.
After any big adventure, there's always that sense of now what? Like when you have your children, you're like, I prepared for 9 months, and it's like, oh, now what?
Now what?
Well, Bonnie's like, I'm all ready for the BonLeo t-shirt company. And I said, you know what? It feels good for me to actually focus on that now, because it takes away a little bit of that postpartum of a big project.
Yes, yes.
So I actually didn't have a big lull.
Yes, and it was nice because you were so involved in the filming. This was a nice like switch.
Yeah,
for you.
it was like relaxing.
Yes.
Okay, let's look at what do you want to design? Let's start.
Exactly.
And we started with Queen of the Girl Geeks Candle Day.
Yeah, we started with I think we did 5 in one night. We did Queen of the Girl Geeks Candle Day. Lenny came up with that candle in the middle for the girl, which was great.
And the matchstick.
And the matchstick. That was so creative. I love that.
I was like, we're striking the match on the matchbox and lighting the candle.
Because many companies do Candle Day. And obviously, I'm not, I didn't want to use Bath and Body Works because that's, copyright. So I really just wanted a generic Candle Day Queen of the Girl Geeks celebration t-shirt. So that's what we did. So we did that. We did Give Me the Beat Boys for the chef line. We did a couple of chef ones. The Fresh Young Coconut.
Well, the thing is, thanks to you all who like commented on my quips that I in the moment I say things, and then we find out when the comments like, oh my God, he said Fresh Young Coconut, and so it was like, oh, wow.
Let's put that in a t-shirt.
That's fun. And the other time when I said, oh, my pineapples are all over the place.
And, so we did.
And everybody commented on the channel. So it was like, you know what? Why don't we do some of those where people think that they're kind of fun?
That was fun.
So we thought we'd start with fun.
We started with fun. We started with this like chef collection. And then we did a couple of BonLeo branded things.
Yes, that was actually a big thing.
That was big. Yeah. We spent a lot of time on the logo.
We're like, okay, we need to have something that represents
who
we
really
are, how we
that.
do
things.
Yeah.
And then with the holidays coming up, we did some Queen of the Girl Geeks holidays.
Right.
We want to be like our big thing. We want to be inclusive. We want to, design stuff that everyone can be a part of. So we did Hanukkah. We did Kwanzaa.
And we did LGBTQ in a very festive holiday.
We did.
Look.
It's so cool.
We want everybody to feel welcomed and celebrated and celebrate the holidays.
Yeah, we actually
together.
have a Feliz Navidad that we still need to finish. We're working on that one.
Yes.
And it was a little bit difficult for us this year because we're like 2 months behind for the holidays.
Yes.
No,
we're behind in terms of your retail calendar.
Yes. We're not behind.
What we did in 3 weeks in terms of design is way ahead. But I understand in terms of
So what's funny is like we were just gonna do we're only doing t-shirts and hoodies. And then they've got these gorgeous tote bags. And I'm like, I want to do a tote. So Lenny's like, okay, we can do tote bags. Tote bags are awesome. And then
Yes. What happened is all of a sudden I was thinking about the fact that I had all these quilts that I thought, and I knew several of them, a couple won awards.
Yeah.
And I had them professionally photographed for a reason. I thought someday I think they should be on something, but I wasn't sure exactly, prints, and we might have prints as well.
Yes.
But I thought, I can kind of see on a tote, because there's a framing element, that the quilt could be put on there and framed in a way that I think would really complement. And so I said to Bonnie, can I put my quilts on totes? And she was like, yes. But it also, the other element that came together was this quilt that I made for my son that I talked about in another Q&A.
Why are there balloons coming up, Lenny? We just had a balloon fest.
See? I have no idea. That
celebration.
Thank you. That phantom celebratory element you are. But I was thinking that I use this quilt as the inspiration for the backdrop quilt for In the Name of Jamie Wakefield.
Yeah, you can see some of the
you can see I used some of the same fabrics.
Exactly.
And then then it fused together. I was like, wow, that quilt that I did for In the Name of Jamie Wakefield could actually become a quilt design rearranged a little bit. So all of a sudden we start playing, and I knew this because when Bonnie did our ads and everything, she knows how to cut and paste and place things. And all of a sudden I said, Bonnie, could I actually cut my quilt up into pieces digitally.
Yes.
So that I can create a design for a t-shirt. And she, of course, she does all the technical parts of it.
Yes.
I get to play.
Lenny's the artist.
Can you give me the building? Can you give me the building blocks?
It was like Lego and Tetris all in one.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, thanks. So she gave me the pieces, and I got to design a derivative design of the In the Name of Jamie Wakefield quilt, which also was the derivative of this Jazz City Rhapsody quilt. And it's all connected for me, like back and forth. So she loved that first design I did for that In the Name of Jamie Wakefield. That kind of, she called it monolithic and flowing, which really thrilled me because and from there I was like, I started thinking, what can we do? And anyway, we've been either doing the quilts themselves, or if you saw, I Promised You a Rose Garden, where I did a derivative of that quilt by configuring those little pointillism squares to make a other little garden thing.
And these are quilts like Lenny made that quilt for his mother.
Yes.
He made this quilt
one for my
his son.
Right. And the Sakura, the cherry blossom one, I made for a very good friend of mine in California.
Yeah.
And the reason I made it is interesting because when I first started quilt making, which I didn't think I was going to do, while I was making my very first quilt, he had such belief in me. He goes, "Oh, someday when your quilts are winning awards at the county fairs," I go, "Oh, Ralph, come on. I'm just getting started. I just learned how to do this." Well, after I was hooked and started doing my quilt, my mother's quilt, my son's quilt, my aunt's quilt, well, all of a sudden I said, you know what? Ralph deserves a quilt for being such a support.
Yeah.
Well, without him knowing, he had seen another one of mine, which I haven't put on yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to in the future. It was this diamond quilt. And he said, "Oh, that really reminds me of something I saw in Japan." And I took that note and I said, you know what? I'm going to make something similar to that, but in his color scheme.
Wow.
That gray and
beautiful.
pinks and mauve.
Love that one.
Yeah, I do too. And so the interesting thing is, I entered that quilt also in the 2013 San Francisco Quilt Award.
Yes.
And the thrill when that one won first place for Best Small Innovative Quilt.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I was in the balcony overlooking the area where the quilts were, and I saw Ralph coming in, and it was such a thrill to me. I can almost cry a little bit because this is the guy that believed in me and had said, "Your quilt's going to win awards one day," and I was like, Well, all of a sudden, I'm watching him walk toward and see the quilt I made for him with a blue ribbon on it.
Oh my gosh!
For first place innovative small quilt. And just to see his face, I went, he didn't even know that how prophetic he was.
Wow.
That here, it's the quilt I made for him that won first. And then later in the show, at the very end, they announced that this quilt won the top Viewer's Choice Award.
That's amazing.
In the same quilt show. So I went from I didn't know I was going to make quilts to that. But anyway, all of that backstory to say it feels so good to be able to bring forth the work I've done in the past in a fresh, new way.
Exactly. And what's the name of the quilt that you made for Ralph?
It's called Sakura. That's the Japanese name for cherry blossom.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's right. And that one is on the site. A bunch of people have already bought that one.
Yeah, the tote.
That one's really. I actually got it. It's on the way. As soon as I get it, I'm going to show it. It's going to be like my new purse. I'm so excited to get that one. So yeah, that's amazing. And how long does it take you to make a quilt?
It varies, but if the range for the large queen size bed size quilts was anywhere from 200 hours to the one that you haven't seen yet. You will see in the future. It's called Like a Prayer Wall. It has almost 3,000 quarter-inch and half-inch mosaic pieces.
Oh my gosh!
That took 550 hours.
Oh my gosh!
So I have this thing about being patient and persistent.
Oh my gosh! So that's basically 200 hours. You'd be working like 40 hours a week. 5 days a week.
If you
for like 5 weeks. Yeah, that's a long time. But the thing is, one project.
In many cases, it's spread out. I was also working.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, it's like that's amazing to me. See, I don't have the patience for that. I am in awe of people who can make quilts because I don't think I would have the patience for it. I'm very impressed.
This is why I haven't watched Elf and all. And a lot of those shows that people watch because I spent hours and hours in the evening with music on quilting. So you see,
Yes.
you know, there's a trade-off.
There's a trade-off.
I don't know everything that's going on in the pop world or the mainstream world.
Yes. But you have seen the Barbie movie.
Yes, I did. I did.
You saw it before me.
Yes. But anyway, that's because I haven't been quilting lately.
That's true. So what's so amazing is I am so excited that I was able to figure out a way technically to get Lenny's quilts on totes, hoodies, t-shirts, because I really want the world to see his work. And this has been so much fun. And what's interesting is, like I said, this is like my vision that's bigger than just like Queen of the Girl Geeks merch, because I love the Queen of the Girl Geek shirts. I think they're cute. I love them. You can get them in like 50 different colors now, I think, on the site. So many people have been asking for them. But what I like is it's a cute little design, and Lenny helped me with the crown. I love it. It's so me, like the way it looks. So that's what I'm excited about. And all of our designs. So what we do, our artistic process is one of us will come up with an idea. Like I wanted holiday cheer on a t-shirt. And it was so funny. Lenny's like, let me draw something. He goes, no, this isn't really what we're going to do. I'm just going to like draw this and see what you think. And he draws a champagne glass. And I'm like, we're using that. So what I did is I took it and I added I digitized it. And I added like a yellow
neonish.
It
looks
and
so good.
Turned into holiday cheer.
And that, yeah. So
we
bounce back and
yes.
once the idea is established, you know, sometimes she might have a preliminary and then I sort of take it and reform, or I come up with something and get it to a certain point and she gives her opinion and we collaborate.
So it's a total back and forth.
So it's a real
everything's
synergy.
Original too, which I love.
Yes.
So we're trying to do stuff that, I mean, a lot of people right now, and this is what we wanted to not do, are taking, and actually it's funny because Give Me the Beat Boys, we did use like a graphic and neither one of us was like super thrilled. You know, it's a cute t-shirt, but we were like, you know, we want to do like really original stuff that represents both of our aesthetics. So that's where we're going in 2024 with this. We want to create approximately like 10 to 15 designs a month. You know, it's not, you know, like,
I just heard the quota. I just heard our quota.
Our quota. You get out there, Lenny. But we want to do stuff like, actually, it was funny. We want to do Chinese New Year. It's Year of the Dragon coming up, and Lenny sent me one little design, and he goes, "What is?" I didn't. You know, he didn't say what it was. I'm like, "That's a dragon." So we're constantly sending each other stuff.
Yes.
And like the Clips is coming up. That's big. We want to do a limited edition, like a Clips t-shirt. We've got some Valentine's Day stuff coming up. But like, I'm thinking Mother's Day florals. I don't know. There's so many like.
And the thing is, I might be revisiting some of my other skills, like my paintings, but I might be doing some actual painting or quilting.
Yes.
Actually for the
BonLeo,
design. So it's all evolving.
I know. And we don't exactly know where this is going necessarily. I mean, we have like an initial, what we want is a beautiful aesthetic. We want originality and we want collaboration and we want something that you guys are going to love. That's going to just, you know, we want people to go, oh, what are you wearing? Oh, I'm wearing BonLeo. We want this to be like, this is like a really intense, like fun thing that we're doing. And we're excited for 2024 because this is exactly what I wanted. And I didn't know I wanted it until we did it.
I didn't know I wanted it at all. But the way life has been the last few years, I didn't know any of that I didn't even know I was going to publish the book a couple years ago. I know. It's amazing. I was in such grief, you know, over what had happened in my life. But I've also learned to really be open to the possibilities.
Yes. And
each time I've been just delighted by what the next possibility has been.
I feel like
I actually am trusting possibilities now rather than what do I want. It's like I'm letting it unfold.
Exactly. And that's how I am too.
And I've enjoyed letting it unfold and to come back to some of my design impulses that I had when I was younger that I didn't know I'd ever get a chance to design something.
I mean, if someone had told me 5 years ago that I would be a YouTuber, I mean, I'm an over 50 middle-aged mom. That's kind of my my thing, I would have said, no way am I ever, me on YouTube? I never would have believed it. So like, that's what I love, the possibility, because you just never know where life is going to take you. And, you know, everything that I've been through with my husband in the last year, like I've had a lot of like stuff that I was dealing with. And this is an outlet for me. This is a wonderful creative outlet where I can just do amazingly good work. And Lenny and I have been collaborating for like over 25 years.
Yeah, it's just like it's like a shorthand.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just almost finish each other's thought.
Yeah, so we just work really well together. So the fact that this was like, oh, there goes Coco. We need a Coco shirt. Someone suggested that. So we are so thrilled for you all to be on our journey. BonLeo is www.bonleo.com. Very easy to remember. The link is below. For Black Friday now, we are doing 20% off with the code Friday20. We'll probably switch the code on Monday for Cyber Monday. Lenny's like, Cyber Monday. Did you even know what Cyber Monday was?
I think I kind of
heard
of it.
You heard of it. So we're going to be doing a little bit of that, but, you know, we're excited, you know, stop by, see what's, you know, on the site, see if anything appeals to you. Leave us some reviews if you actually got a product. We're excited to hear what people have said. One thing that I really enjoy doing, so I came up with the phrase, I like my peppermint twisted, and Lenny came up with the twisted design. Which I thought was so fun. Like, that's where we might use like graphic design a little bit.
Yes. Well, I want to say I have a couple of mottos that I'll share. It's something I live with in my work. I call it a lot of class and a little trick.
We need a t-shirt.
In general, I really like things that feel like they have a classiness about it. But I like that little tongue-in-cheek, that slight little bawdiness here and there. Because I think that's what we're human, and that's what makes it fun.
Yes, you do.
And when it is something that I think is a little bit more commercial, I call it kitsch with class.
Yes, I don't think we need a yellow snow t-shirt though. That's probably not going to make it.
Unicorn sprinkles, I think, might be in the works.
Wait a minute, actually, I like it. Oh my gosh. We'd have to class it up. We're gonna have a lot. This is where we come up with our ideas. We just like brainstorm.
It's just bubbling.
It's fun. So thank you so much to everyone who has stopped by. Purchase something. Definitely tag me on Instagram, Queen of the Girl Geeks 1. I'll put that below. Lenny is Lenny Pinna Art on Instagram. I'll put up both of our Instagram links below. You can follow us. But we're just going to have fun and see how 2024 rolls out. And we hope you love our products as much as we love making them.
Your feedback will also be part of helping us,
exactly,
as we're evolving.
Exactly, because that's one thing. I'm really excited about getting some of Lenny's quilts on a print, like a framed canvas or something, because a lot of people have been asking about how, because these are original. He actually designed this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not a pattern. That's not.
No. And see, I have a high respect for traditional quilting, very high, but I didn't come at it from that way.
Yeah.
I came at it from like an artist, and so I just have been doing all original designs.
It's amazing. I know.
It's just what came natural to me.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I know, and it's fun to see all of the ideas that Lenny comes up with. It's like a joy for me to like go, oh my gosh, what's he coming up with next?
And but it's really a joy for me to have somebody that executes that, especially in this digital world. I know nothing. Zero.
Well, I'm impressed.
She totally makes it all happen. That's her tagline. This girl gets things done.
Get it done. Oh my goodness! Yes, I do. It's like I like to get it done.
We both like that. The thing is, I don't have that skill in your skill set.
No, but
I get it done in my set.
Say you filmed an hour and a half long pilot in the corner of your living room,
right? But she gets it done in her. So anyway, together we respect that.
Exactly. So thank you. We appreciate all of your support, and we'll be on, frequently talking about new products.
Absolutely.
We'll see you guys later.
BonLeo.
Bye-bye.